Bunnahabhain time again, folks. But unlike the last time where it was peaty, this one is smoky. It's called Toiteach Aga, I think, and that means smoky too. And that's two as in the numeral 2, not as whenever I'm speaking with Jim, the whiskey novice, where we always finish our conversations in I love you too. Stay tuned. What's up, whiskey lovers, and welcome to another episode of Whiskey Straight with me, Big Al. Today, as you know, Bunnahabhain time again, but it's not the peaty side, it's the smoky side. And from now on, I'm going to be referring to this as the Smoky 2 because it's easier to pronounce than the Toiteach Aga, which hopefully I'm doing it right, but David Brody or anybody from Bunnahabhain or anybody who knows Gaelic, let me know if I'm anywhere near the right pronunciation there. But anyway, let's get on with it and see what it's like and what it's all about. This is like the Moina from the last review. It's bottled at 46.3% ABV. It's unchill filtered and it's natural coloured, just like you would expect from Bunnahabhain because they do things right. Now, this is actually a Moina variant, and it's been created by senior blender Dr. Kirsty McCallan via a combination of ex-bourbon and sherry casks. As always, if you've got a pour of this, wing it into your glass because whiskey is always better shared, especially with like-minded people and especially when it's whiskey done right, as Bunnahabhain do it. So we'll start on the nose. Sláinte. Lemony up front, lemon-infused smoke. It's actually sweeter than you would expect, like quite a lot sweeter than you would expect. And after that sweetness, here comes a bit of peat, but it's only a hint of peat. It's not too much. And then right after that, here's where that bigger hit of smoke comes in. It's like the remnants of a campfire. It's ashy. It's like a campfire on the beach. Very ashy, quite smoky. And now I'm getting a bit of fresh oak. Fresh malt. There's a slight bit of sherry influence that comes into play as well. It's very delicate. On the sherry side of things, it's even not smooth, but refined in a way. It's like a lightly sherried Christmas cake with a center of ashy smokiness that once you bite into, you get that initial light cherry bit, that element, and then that ashiness and that smokiness takes over. So let's get onto the palate, down the hatch, see how it tastes. Sláinte. Once again, right off on the arrival, it's lemon, quite sweet lemon, and then there's a nice big kick of black pepper, and then the bellows open up, a big whish of smokiness, of ash. Again, it's that campfire ash, it's that campfire smokiness. And it really does come through with quite a whish after that initial arrival of the sweetness. And then as it sort of settles on the palate, that ash kind of overpowers the smokiness. It sits on the palate, mid-palate, and then as it transitions towards the rear of the palate, what we're getting here now is a bit of barrel char. There is again that hint of peat, like there's been a peat briquette or some peat put on that campfire. Not a lot, but some in there to give it just a wee bit of a nuance, a wee bit of extra diversity and flavour. Now as you get into it again on the second sip, that ashy smoky element is really to the fore. And while the lemon is still there, it's a wee bit more dull now in nature. It's a wee bit more bland, a wee bit bitter. There's barrel char, there's coffee. Really dark chocolate. But it's that ashy smokiness that really comes to the fore, that really does take over this. And, you know, to quote a famous ad over here, to do with wood stain and stuff. It does exactly what it says in the tin. It really is smoky too, and it has been aptly named. Now, the finish is long, the mouthfeel is quite, I would say, sort of slightly vibrant, a wee bit tingly. It does coat the palate really, really well, but again, it's like that ashiness with the smoky element does come with it too, but the ashiness is really the overpowering element here. Now, all in all, the nose on this is more refined than the palate. I have been asked on the last one, because a few people had commented on the minor review that they've had this and wanted to know how it compared, and I have done a side-by-side comparison. For my palate, the Moina is more complex, it's richer, and it just does a lot more for me. It's more balanced. This is much more smoke, ash in your face, and then when it comes down to individuality and what you prefer in your whiskey, do you prefer that peat element which is combined nicely with other flavours, or do you compare that big whish of ashy smokiness that sort of takes over and isn't as well balanced as what the Moina would be? And that again is an individual preference. So for me, the Moina will win all day long over this, but I still enjoy this. It's still going down the treat, but still would recommend you try this. I think I got this again for about 30 quid or something like that, and you know, that's pretty good for what you're getting. So in terms of a score, that's going to translate into an 83. Still good whiskey, still recommend it, and another nice dram from Bunnahabhain, as you would expect. So thanks again, folks, for hanging out. Thanks for supporting me. Thanks to my new subscribers. Thanks to you guys who support me via Patreon and Subscribestar. It really does mean a lot. And let me know your thoughts down below. If you've had this before, what do you think? And please don't forget to like, subscribe and share, because that's the best way to support the channel. So until next time, folks, please look after yourselves, look after each other, and as you know, keep on drinking your whiskey the way you like it. Sláinte. Thanks for watching, folks. I really do appreciate it. Please check out these other reviews, and if you'd like to support the channel, the best way is by subscribing, liking and commenting. And don't forget to ring that bell for all video notifications so you don't miss out on any future content. Cheers.